Welcome to episode 45 of A Message From. We're your hosts. I'm Allison.
I'm Edward.
And we're just going to get right into the message this week, kids.
We are.
We have a lot to talk about, so...
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
So
you should have all done your homework.
We hope you did your homework, because do you remember we assigned you all homework?
This is true. If you didn't do it, then this is going to be a weird episode, but power to you.
Yes. Just try to follow along. All right, so here is our message from Chelsea.
Hey guys, it's Chelsea. Love the podcast. Gives me many of laughs as I'm driving. Just wanted to call in since we're getting into the holiday season. I put my Christmas tree up like 3 weeks ago, so I am team do whatever makes you happy. Start decorating as early as you want. So now I'm just going to start getting into all my Christmas movies. So just seeing if you have any favorite classic Christmas movies that you always watch. There's a new movie coming out on Netflix called Single All the Way, and it's a Christmas movie, so it looks really funny, so I'm excited to watch that. Just let me know what you guys think. Looking forward to hearing from you guys again. Bye.
Fabulous.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you so much for sending in a message. You're absolutely right. We're in the holiday season now, so it's time to pivot to holiday movies. So first things first, I've always been like a team decorate after Thanksgiving. Like,
same.
Right, that Thanksgiving weekend, but after Thanksgiving. But then when I heard her say, like, do whatever you want, like, team do whatever you want, I'm like, absolutely. If you want to put your Christmas tree up whenever, like, put it up whenever.
Oh, yeah. Like, people can do in my whatever they want. I don't really care. But me personally, you'll never see my home decorated until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. I put my tree up this week. So we're the week after Thanksgiving now. But like a nice, cozy home decorated for the holidays. I love it.
Well, you also want to get it done as soon as possible because, like, if you wait too long, then, like, what's the point? It's only going to be out for...
Exactly.
half the season. So
exactly. What's the point?
As soon after as possible that's my idea.
Yeah. But so then the other part of her message, well, a couple of things. What are like your favorite classic Christmas movies? And then we'll get into the Netflix movie she brought up, Single All the Way.
Yes, which we watched. We
watched it and we're gonna talk all about it. I'm so excited. But
so to get into the first thing that you said, my only like go-to Christmas movie that I watch is White Christmas, the old ass one.
See,
my family and I watches it every Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
and at this point we only watch like probably a third of it because we skip through the parts we don't like. Because I've watched it probably like 27, 26 times.
Yeah,
I'm 28, so like. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's funny because like my parents, my dad in particular, I'm pretty sure he watches all those old ones when they just happen to be on throughout the month. But for me, I'm like very modern. I never really watch the old ones. I've seen is it A Christmas Story?
A Wonderful Life?
Like, I don't know if I've ever seen A Wonderful Life. But no.
It's A Wonderful Life.
Like, I'll Shoot Your Eye Out. Is that A Christmas Story? Or A Christmas?
Oh yeah, I watched that recently. I think last year.
Like the like everyone's seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
But I don't watch them regularly. The only ones that I watch every year are The Grinch, the Jim Carrey version, and then
what's
Elf.
The Jim Carrey version?
Well, you know where Jim Carrey plays the Grinch? Not like the old school cartoon or anything like that.
Oh, from like when we were kids.
Yeah, from when we were kids. Yeah, I watched.
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
Okay. Oh, interesting. People do like that one. Oh, Elf. Elf for me is not my vibe, but people love it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's my. And then I will too if it's on. Just because I love the Griswolds, I'll watch Christmas Vacation. But I mean,
Oh, I forgot
It's
about
not
that.
truly their best work is Vegas Vacation. So I'm like, I'll watch it if it's on Christmas Vacation, but
Yeah, you're not searching it out.
it's not my fave. Yeah.
Yeah. Most movies, I'm like, I will watch if it's up. Well, actually, I watched the How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original cartoon one, a lot, but because of teaching.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because it's like quite short, and there's always like a worksheet you can do with a kid. So that's why.
All those old
I've
school
seen that one quite a
cartoons
bit.
are really short, so that'd be really convenient.
Yeah. Some Peanuts. Peanuts Christmas movie. Sometimes I will watch clips of that. Not the full thing because the kids can't sit through that and understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the Netflix thing.
Yes.
Netflix?
Single All the Way.
Single All the Way. They've been putting out a lot of Christmas like original Christmas movies every year.
Oh yeah.
Last year,
the hallmarkification of movies.
Yes. I will say, I think the Netflix Christmas movies are like one step above the Hallmark movies, but they're still very cheesy.
I mean, I think that they're made to be like pumped out every year by the dozens. So like there's not like high production value in it unless it's like going to theaters. Like there was some movie I watched last year that was like the two lesbians. I forget what that one was called, but it was like higher production because it went to like theaters or whatever.
Okay.
Maybe that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, what did I watch last year? I watched Holiday, which was just like another, I don't know if that one was in theaters or not. I don't even remember exactly what it was about. Obviously the holiday and like getting a date or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably like someone does this as a job and then all of a sudden someone comes into their life and it like,
Yep.
it's cookie cutter, which is very 'tis the season.
And I watched, they had one about like a magical advent calendar. I watched that one too.
That sounds absolutely like something that would be a Christmas movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, that one obviously wasn't great, but Single All the Way. What was your overall impression of the movie?
I was going to say, I have an entire note of my thoughts as I just watched.
Oh, yeah.
I just wrote things down.
I did the same.
So I was like, so where should we start? My overall impression, I really liked it. It was obviously cheesy in that like Christmassy Hallmark movie type of vibe, you know, the cheap like we were just talking about. But I enjoyed it. And there were some twists I thought were going to happen because I was trying to be like, oh, I know what's going to happen. And then I was wrong. I mean, I wasn't too far off, but I was still wrong.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Overall, I liked the movie. I would suggest it to people. And
it was cute.
It was cute. And there were some parts where I audibly gasped. Like, I was surprised at a couple parts. So, yeah.
Should we get into that?
Yeah.
Or should we, what's next? Sorry, what's next on the thing?
So
characters.
Characters.
Let's do characters.
Okay, so, yeah, overall, it was a good movie. I liked it. It was fun. And I think the reason that you and I both were initially drawn to this, in addition to the message, was because of Jennifer Coolidge. Like,
for me, it was a lot of the cast. Yeah, Jennifer Coolidge, Kathy Najimy.
Okay, I have to say, before watching it, I didn't know Kathy Najimy was in it, and then when she popped up on the screen, I screamed, "Kathy Najimy!" Like, I had no idea she was in it. So yeah, I was very excited about that.
I love Kathy Najimy.
Love her. Oh, she's so good. And then, like we said, Jennifer Coolidge, a classic always. But I don't know who the actress was that played one of the sisters, the sister that had the two daughters. But the
one who owned the bar.
Yeah, her character was atrocious. I'm sorry, but she was so annoying. I couldn't stand her.
At first, I was like, "Ooh, this is really weird." I mean, there were a lot of parts where I was like, "No me gusta." But I started to like her towards the end. But I realized that her character was just like really supposed to be over eager. I was like, "Where do I know her from?" And I've seen her in clips of Schitt's Creek, but I didn't watch Schitt's Creek. So
I haven't
my
watched
mother's
that
gonna be
either.
like so mad because she's been trying to make me watch while I've been here, and I just haven't been in the mood.
Well, Bobby's been trying to get us to watch that show for like 8 years now. When did it come out?
I'm always surprised.
I can't.
It's already finished.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I said, like, did it come out 8 years ago, 4 years ago? How long has it been on? Since the day it started, I feel like he's been trying to get us to watch it. And I'm just like, oh, yeah. I'll add it to the list.
very surprised that Bobby was like first in on that, but it's probably because it was only shown in Canada for a while because it's Canadian TV.
True. Yeah.
So anyway, her character was like a little strange, but I loved her daughters until they started to get really pushy. Mm-hmm. When everyone started to get pushy, I was like,
yeah,
it was a little weird.
The daughters were pushy, but then I guess if you think about it, like if that's how their mom was, just like constantly meddling in people's business and being super pushy, you go one of two ways. You turn exactly into your mother, or you take a hard left and you are like complete opposite. So,
and then you eventually turn into your mother.
And yes, either way, you're going to turn into your mother.
But I was also thinking, like, as a teen, like, and if that was something that was like happening around that, like, I would also be like, you just don't have any sort of like boundaries.
Yeah,
you don't understand those things. So you just be like, yes, do this, do that. And you don't like understand what like adult relationships are like.
True.
So I sort of understood why they were so pushy about it, because they're just like idolizing romance or whatever, which is what that movie does. So
true. The whole movie.
The whole movie.
But
Jennifer, so that sister was funny. I loved the little boy.
Oh yeah.
Who was little nephew, who was obsessed with the dog book. I was very confused about the dog book at first. That was just like slid in.
Yeah, so the roommate of the main character, listen.
Nick.
Let me get my names right. Yes, Nick. He authored this like children's book about a dog, his dog, and the little nephews were like obsessed with the book and were so excited to meet him because he's the author. It was so cute.
Emmett. The dog's name was Emmett, right?
Yes, dog's name was Emmett. Yeah. So before I mentioned that there were a couple of parts that like shocked me that I wasn't expecting. When what's the main character's name? James.
Oh, James. No,
is his name James?
Yes.
No, James is the blind date.
No, James is the hottie.
James is the hot blind date.
I don't think I wrote down the main character's name. Lisa was the sister who was weird. Carol was Kathy Najimy. Aunt Sandy was Jennifer Coolidge.
Oh, can we also talk about how, Christmas Carol, Kathy and Sissy.
Christmas Carol was very
I'm
funny.
being called, Peter. His name's Peter. Okay, wow.
Oh,
Peter.
Yes. Why do I not have that written down?
Peter's the main.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh,
We're real good at this.
This is the first time we've done this, so bear with us.
Okay, so Peter is dating this guy, right? Peter's dating this cardiologist, and
oh yeah, back in the beginning.
It's wild because like this happened so quickly at the beginning and then so many things happen after. But when Peter's roommate Nick was doing a job at this random house, and then all of a sudden Peter's boyfriend pulls up to the house and he's married with kids.
Oh, I saw that coming.
Like
when Nick was at the house, like putting those lights up.
Oh, you knew it was
and
happening.
She was like, "Oh, my husband's here." I was like, "Oh, that's the boyfriend." Because like, how else does he go from being not single all the way to single all the way?
I just assumed like, oh, this like standoffish cardiologist who's too busy to even like show up and stay at the holiday party. I was just assumed he would be like ghost him or something.
I thought at the holiday party that it would be sort of like, oh no, but then I realized it was probably a text from his wife and he had to leave instead of the hospital.
Yeah. So I just assumed it was a text from like someone he was cheating with, but surprise, he was with the person he was cheating with, and it was actually a text from his wife.
I know. It's so sad.
Wild.
Also, I did not realize that Nick and Peter were roommates for quite a while.
Oh. I think I knew that at the beginning.
Okay, you knew that at the beginning? I think I missed like some small detail. And it took me a while to realize
I caught that. But speaking about them being roommates, I died at this one part. So this one part where like Peter's on he's in their apartment and he's on the phone and it's someone from work and he's like stomping around his apartment, like so annoyed to be on this work call. And I was like, that's me every time my phone rings. Every time my phone rings, I'm like, why are you calling me? What do you want? Why on earth would you ever pick up a phone and type in my phone number? And then immediately after, he starts like walking around talking to all of his plants, and I was like, okay, that's also me.
The plant talking thing,
Yeah.
I really wrote this whole plant thing question mark.
This is
I also wrote this TaskRabbit thing ... Both of those things obviously tied in very well towards the end, but at first I was like, what the hell is this? This is so random.
I just assumed like TaskRabbit paid them a lot of money to have them in this movie. That's where
I didn't
my
think of
mind went.
that.
I was like, TaskRabbit is paying for the advertising here. But I
True,
was like, oh my
true.
gosh, I go around and talk to my beautiful plant babies too.
And do they reply?
No, I will say I have not named any of my plants. He full on had like a name for the plant. I've never
Oh
named
yeah,
one.
there were many names.
So
Many names.
I haven't
Yes.
done that, but yeah. So that part had me laughing. I was like, this is funny. It's a pretty funny movie so far. But speaking of funny, obviously, you know, they have to like insert some comedy. They have to insert the jokes in there. And this was a question I wanted to ask you because the two like love interests are in the movie are gay. So the majority of the jokes
Yes.
that they tried to make were supposed to be like gay culture jokes.
Yes.
And there was like one or two that I was like, okay, that was funny. But then some of them I was like, that was just so lame. But I didn't know if you felt the same or if you
I don't know.
thought they were funny.
Some of them were funny. I wrote down the like from Grindr quote from Jennifer Coolidge. That one was
Yeah.
really funny. I'm trying to see if I wrote down anything else.
There
That
was something about like HGTV, like,
Oh yeah, some of those I was just like, haha.
yeah,
Homosexual like TV network or whatever.
yeah, something about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Some of them they were like, haha. But I wasn't like, I'm not out here like, this is the best comedy movie of
Oh,
2021.
no, definitely not. But there was a bit of comedy in there. So that was a good thing. They lightened
were-
up the sad moments.
I did like how, speaking of gay culture, they like brought up Whitney Houston and like that song, and then they like played it at some point. They like rapped in the Britney Christmas music. Like they ended up putting in like Christmas songs that probably only gay men listen to.
Yeah. I completely forgot that there was that Britney Spears Christmas song. So that took me
yeah.
back. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. I should listen to that. But
Also, what's her face? Jennifer Coolidge dressed as Glinda the Good Witch during the
Christmas
I was
play?
like, that seems gay. Yeah, that was like A,
Yes.
funny, but B, also like seemed like a Wizard of Oz type of Dorothy situation.
Yes.
Judy Garland.
can we talk about the Christmas play though for a minute, because there was this
We can, but after this break.
Okay, let's take a break. Hey everyone, this is Allison. We just wanted to check in and say thank you so much to everyone who has listened, engaged on our Instagram, sent in a message, checked out the blog. We really appreciate it. And we would absolutely love it if you could give us a call and leave us a message at 202-630-4509, or send us a message into our DMs on our Instagram, a message from, or you can send an email as well to a messagefrompod@gmail.com. We're looking forward to hearing from you. All right, we're back. I was super...
Hope you enjoyed that break.
Yes. You said it this time, not me. I was super excited to talk about the Christmas play because...
Yes, which was insane.
It was insane. Like, so Sandy, Jennifer Coolidge's character, writes this whole... She puts on this, like, huge Christmas performance every year and, like, forces all the family members to be in it.
Love.
It unlocked this memory in me that I didn't know I had. But
Oh my God, were you in a Christmas play?
I was in the church Christmas play. My sister and I both. And we were way too old to be in the Christmas play at this point. We used to go to church on Christmas Eve every year together, like my immediate family. And
just you and your sister?
no, me, my sister, my mom, and my dad. And you know, Christmas Eve they would do a Christmas play, but it was always the kids who were in it mostly.
Of course.
Well, there were
yeah.
a couple missing pieces. We show up to church And they like emergency needed a couple extra participants. So then we get roped in. My mom like agrees for us to be in this Christmas play. My sister and I are like ducking behind this, I don't know if it was like a box covered with like a curtain or something, and we had like these puppets on our hands. We're up there in front of everyone in like in the middle of church, in the middle of this little play, trying so hard not to laugh. We're dying. I think one of us was like a donkey or something. We were,
oh my god, like one of the sisters.
Yeah, we were
one of the nieces.
We were literally dying. My mom was so mad at us.
I was also someone who acted in church performances.
That was my
but
one
I don't
and
think
done.
I ever did a Christmas one. I did the Stations of the Cross.
Oh, that was my one and done. Actually, I had another one and done church performance where I was in front of the whole church getting communion and I fainted and hit my head on the ground.
That does not... You made that a performance. That wasn't supposed to be a
I
performance.
accidentally made that a performance.
In mine, I was a police... Oh, I had many roles, obviously, because there's only a few of us. But I was one of the people who... It was a modern take on the Stations of the Cross. And I was one of the gang members who beat the shit out of Jesus.
Oh,
and also,
wow.
I was one of the people who was the police officer who picked up Jesus and took him to jail with another person.
Wow.
I had other roles, too.
Had it out
but
for Jesus.
I remember like rehearsing and being like, I was supposed to be the first one who kicked him and like, fake kick.
Yeah. No, you beat
But I
him
was like,
down.
remember being like, I don't want to be the first one. Like, I'm too nervous on stage. And the person was like, it's fine. And it ended up being fine. So
It all worked
anyway,
out.
back to a Single All the Way.
Yeah, after that detour.
I died every single time they brought up how Mary was like not important and like this rando girl and like nothing specifically special about Mary.
Oh, the way she said Mary every time. Mary.
And it was always the pause in between. It was so good.
Yes, that was good.
But I thought it was so cute that what's his face like couldn't get his line down, little nephew boy couldn't get his line, and then he did.
Oh,
there were lots of little moments of that where it was like full circle moments.
I
The circles
didn't
were
pick
small,
up on
but they
that
will
one.
flow. Yeah.
I was blind to the small circles.
Oh, well, I wasn't. But moving off of the play, how did you feel about the love interest James, the one he went on the blind date with?
Okay, so at first I'm like, oh. First he shows up and I'm like, James, you're gorgeous. Who is this?
James is very hot.
Who is this
Yes.
beautiful blind date? And then I was like, what movie do I know him from? I still didn't figure it out, but I'm like, I know I've seen him in
I
something
looked him up.
before. Okay, what's
And
he
he's just
from?
on a lot more other Christmas movies.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of those like Hallmark people.
Oh, I know I've seen him in something before.
I think he might be in something else that's a little bit different. I couldn't
Yeah.
remember exactly, but a lot of them I was like, oh, he's been in like several Christmas movies.
Yeah. Okay, well, I gotta look him up, but I was like, okay, James is a cutie. And then they went and like drank these warm beverages together. And
Oh, it was very cute.
that was cute. And then they went skiing together, and that was cute.
That was traumatizing for me. That was PTSD.
From your ski trip. I loved
Yes.
it. He was such a nice guy, and they were cute together. But I mean, obviously the whole time that they're not going to end up together. So you're like,
And I was heartbroken
You
because
can't
James
get
was really
invested.
nice.
he was really nice, and I was getting super nervous, like towards actually during the play when James was there watching, and then
Oh, that
Peter
was
and
so
Nick are like
cringe.
off to the side, like arms around each other, like having a moment, and I was like,
I literally
sick.
wrote,
I was sick.
OMG, I feel so bad for James frowny face.
Oh, same.
I did.
I was
felt so bad.
I wrote so sad seeing Blind Date in the audience while he and N are having a moment during the play.
Which is what it's intended to do. Obviously, you're supposed to feel that bad, but I was like really sad for him.
I was too, and then
I just wanted him to be happy.
And
Well, then I thought he was going to go to LA, but then he didn't, I don't think.
Yeah, no, then you didn't. But then, like, when they were at the bar together after the play and they started talking, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling so much better about this now. When, like, James was initiating the whole, like, obviously this isn't working out. But he was,
Yeah.
I started to feel better then. I was like, okay, I can breathe again.
I wrote, OMG, James is great.
Yeah.
As in, like, he Like, is it like he understands what the situation is, and it's like, what's his face? He was the one who broke the news instead of the main character, Peter.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's refreshing.
It was
no one's
good
heart
for
is broken
him.
here.
Yes, good for him. Taking control.
There was no heartbreak.
No, there was no heartbreak. It was good. But
you know who was heartbroken was Aunt Sandy when she hit on James.
When she hit on James and had no idea he was gay, and then when someone, it was the crazy sister who told him, and she's like, well, hey, you never know what people are into.
Yeah.
Okay, Sandy.
Sandy, my God. She kills me. Also, her whole thing of being like, they want to take the show on tour. And it was like, what?
Oh my God.
Take these kids around the country? Like, no.
Her dragging her whole family around the country on a Christmas play tour.
Oh my God. Called the play called Jesus H. Christ.
Okay, yes, that was the best part about the whole play, was that it was called Jesus H. Christ.
Oh, it was so funny. Oh my God.
I loved it.
But yes, I felt the same way about James as you did, I guess.
Oh, good. Yeah, we were on the same page. Speaking of the bar scene,
Lisa's Crisis Cafe.
Yes.
That's what it's called.
I
wrote that down because I was like, Lisa's Crisis Cafe is quite the name.
It's quite the name. And that performer, that creepy elf man singing Christmas songs, was quite the singer.
Oh my God. I wrote this insane end credit song. Jennifer Coolidge drunk dancing at the gig. OMG.
Yes. It was wild. I was like, oh.
Did you listen to the song though? Like, did you actually like listen to the lyrics?
I listened to the first one. The second one during the end credits, I didn't listen to the whole thing.
I feel that's when I listened to more, and I was like, oh, this is like funny. It's like well written.
It was,
in a
yeah.
way.
The first one was
I don't remember exactly what it said, but I remember being like, oh, this is like not bad in a way that I thought it would be terrible.
Yeah, no, it was just the man. He was such a freaking weirdo. Just like this creepy man dressed up.
Well,
like
that was the whole point.
But that was the point.
That was the joke. Was like, oh, he does this every year. What was his job? Also, he was a pet psychic and also like a notary.
Oh yeah, he's a notary. He had like 5 jobs. Was he a builder?
It was like the one town guy who does like 5 things for no reason.
Yeah, no, he was a weirdo, but that was funny. I laughed at that part.
Yeah. There was a lot of cringe for me as well. Obviously, that comes with the territory of being someone who's emotionally stunted and watching a happy Christmas movie about 2 happy gay homosexuals.
Yeah.
So there was like, let me see where it starts. Oh, everyone's screaming about him going on a date and like clapping all the time. I was like, no, I hate this.
Like,
this is weird.
I was like, do people really do that?
Yes, people have done that to me. I wrote down PTSD.
Rude. That's so rude.
It's just like weird. It's like it's like the very like you feel like a Happy Meal toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're someone's Polly Pocket.
That's weird.
Yeah. Them all being so excited about the date going well, also cringe. Mm-hmm. Oh, I was also cringe about them dragging that tree on the top of the car. I was like, the car paint.
Oh my gosh, the car paint, the tree. I was like, you're gonna destroy the tree. What is wrong with you? What?
I kept thinking, oh my God, the paint on the top of that car is gonna be so scratched.
It was a rental though, so they probably didn't care.
It was a rental. I hope they got insurance because otherwise they have to pay for that.
You never know. But speaking of trees, why did they hate on Christmas Carol's white tree? I love a tacky white tree. I think it's the most beautiful thing ever.
Heinous.
I love a white tree. I had one for many years.
Not the worst. I've seen lots of other like tackier trees out there, but it's like, I mean, I'm always a green tree type person. That's just who
love a white tree. I have a green one now, but for many years I had a white one, and it's my vibe.
I think it was supposed to be like, ew, it's ugly, but I also think it was supposed to be like, oh, like it's not real, and they wanted like, back in the day,
it was part, ew, that's hideous, part, we always used to get a real tree, we need a real tree.
Yeah, that plot point seemed a little bit rando in a sense of I was like, okay, and then I was like, oh, so they're gonna get a tree on this date, like that's how they bring it all in. But then I was like, this isn't a very like long-reaching plot point. I was like, okay.
I feel like they just had to like Christmas it up somehow.
Yeah, there was like something else they could have done instead. It seemed like kind of a bit like a half-assed plot line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, all right, well, that's done. We're done with the tree, I guess.
Moving on, no more talk about the tree.
Yeah, it was I guess the movie was a little bit clunky in parts.
Yeah.
in lots of parts.
I guess I didn't. It was, but I think I also don't have high expectations for like a one-off
not at all.
Netflix Christmas movie, so I wasn't like bothered by it. I didn't feel like, oh, I'm wasting my time watching this.
No, and I quite enjoyed it in its entirety, so I didn't care that it was clunky. And you're right, you go in sort of expecting like this is like a you know, low grade holiday, you know, streaming movie. Like you're not out here, it's not like an Oscar movie, you know, it's not shot on film,
right?
Like, so there's that too. But overall I thoroughly enjoyed, and I would like love if there would be a sequel.
That'd be fun. Actually, do they... Okay, let's talk about this. At the end, Nick and Peter, surprise, admit their...
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Spoilerino. They admit their feelings.
Is that a real word?
I mean, sure. They admit their feelings to each other. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh my gosh, yes. I love you, let's kiss, we're happily ever after. But... this goes down in this empty storefront that Nick has purchased for Peter so he can turn it into a plant store and live out his dreams of leaving behind his crazy LA social media job and open a plant store. And I'm like, oh my God, he bought him a plant store. I love it.
Well, that was, I was like, okay, so this is how the plants get tied in all the way through. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I thought I was going to stay as a hardware store because Nick was the TaskRabbit dude who could do everything.
Yeah, he's a TaskRabbit dude who can do everything, but he's still an author at heart. So he writes.
But he's going to help fix and also write because he's finally able to write. It was like, oh, very like, oh, okay, I see.
He writes the sequel to the Emmett book about the dog, and he gives it to the nephew so they can read the first draft and give their feedback.
Very adorable.
Happily ever after. What a lovely ending. They could totally do a sequel. What happened?
I know, and I was like, you didn't even have to do like Single All the Way too. It could like just make another fun pun on another Christmas song.
Yeah.
Or like another Christmas phrase or whatever. And
like
you could just
1 year later.
with some other thing.
Yeah.
Because the whole family setup was also quite good. Mm-hmm. Like everyone, as weird as some of them were, and as small as some of the parts that they had, it still worked out. They were all like, I would like to know more.
It worked, and you remember them. So yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this would be nice to like see more. Like another Christmas, you know, like debacle happen like next year or, you know, or some other holiday debacle. But that would get weird, I guess, at some point in terms of production.
Jesus H. Christ, the sequel.
Yes, exactly. Well, maybe not name it that, but
no,
I would
that'd
love
be the
to
play.
See that.
That'd be the name of the play for next year.
As it's on tour.
Yes.
I was going to say one last thing. There was a part of me that was like, okay, this is a very cute movie, obviously, but I was like, I hate the whole, like, I enjoyed the Kathy Najimy character, like, the mom understanding that, like, not all gay friendships mean that they need to date. Mm-hmm. You know, like, she kept saying that, reiterating that, and I was like, thank you, because, like, yes. And so I kind of hated that they got in together in the end because they were like friends. Yeah. And I was like, why couldn't it have been like somebody else? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I was like, that was the whole point of this thing. Yeah. So I guess, you know.
It was the holding point of the movie. But yeah, she did bring up that point.
I know. And I was like, at the end, I was like, sometimes I'd be like, well, they could just stay friends. Like, do they actually really like each other? And then I was like, well, they are cute together. But I was like, but that's.
No, I was feeling the same. I was like, are they actually a match?
Yeah.
But you knew they were going to get together in the end anyway, so
you kind of just forced yourself to realize it was a match.
Yeah, you just accept it.
Same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah, but overall it's a good movie. Hopefully you guys already watched it because we gave you the homework, and if you didn't, now the whole movie is ruined, and there's no point in watching it.
Yeah, or if not, then maybe you will want to watch it now.
Okay, true.
Or you just really enjoyed listening to us talk about a movie for 30 plus minutes.
I mean, it got me in the holiday mood, I will say, because immediately after I watched Netflix's other new holiday movie called Love Hard with Nina Dobrev in it, where she gets catfished by a guy.
Oh, I did see something about that. Yeah.
It was a cute movie. Same thing. Like, cute, one-off holiday movie.
I know.
Not cinematic genius, but I watched it and it was good.
Yeah. I will see if I watch any more. It's not usually my style, but we'll see. We'll see if this inspires me to watch another one or not. I just don't have any really interest in seeing straight people have happy Christmases on a movie.
Well, yeah. What does that do?
I've seen that enough.
You see it every year.
It is. Well, we did want to end on whether or not we could think of Christmas drag names for each other. What was it? Christmas specific drag names?
Yeah, so we mentioned Christmas Carol was like the mom's holiday specific drag name.
Yes.
So what would our holiday specific drag names be? I feel like hers works perfectly because Christmas Carol.
Well, yeah, it was designed to be that way by a writer's room.
I know. So I'm like, how does my name go with Christmas?
Alice, I'm just trying to think of like adjectives that have a
like
in
Aly-lujah. Have you ever seen it written without the
Aly-lujah.
H? Like Aly-lujah, Allison. But that's
Aly-lujah would be that would be a good one. Aly-lujah would be great.
That's my holiday specific drag name. Okay, what's yours?
Edward is really hard to do.
What's your Richard?
Also hard to do.
Wait, wasn't there a saint like Richard?
GingerbrED. That's kind of dumb.
GingerbrED, yes, like gingerbread.
GingerbrED man. A GingerbrED man.
GingerbrED man, I love it.
A GingerbrED man. That also works too.
Yes.
In his GingerbrED house.
GingerbrED man. Gingerbread with the ed in capitals. GingerbrED man. That's you.
Oh, so it's just the word gingerbread, but
the E and the D.
ED big.
Large.
Okay, yeah, that works for me. GingerbrED and Aly-lujah.
Aly-lujah.
Signing off on another episode of A Message From.
Yes, message us your holiday specific drag names. We want to hear them.
You should write a review and put your holiday specific drag name in it.
As your signature.
Yeah. Or just paste it
or
50
just
times.
include it in there. Rate and review, 5-star review, Apple Podcasts.
Yes, mamas. We don't have one to read today because I forgot to find one. But
Oops.
Chelsea is going to get a postcard, and you can get one too if you call us at 202-630-4509 if you live in the United States. And if you live outside or would rather just write in, you can do that at amessagefrompod@gmail.com. Check us out on amfpod.com. I don't think there's a blog. And a message from on Instagram to see all this stuff.
Yes. We will chat soon. Thank you so much, Chelsea, for sending the message. And everyone, don't forget to send your holiday-specific drag names because I'm serious. We want to hear them.
Yeah, I do. I want to hear more.
Yes.
Okay. See you next Tuesday.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Bye.
Bye.